Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Sprague Elementary School in Wellesley, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's high school varsity baseball contest between the hosting Raiders of Wellesley High School and the visiting Brookline High Warriors. And fans, I am not alone on this broadcast here today. Joining me on the mic, my color commentator, Brookline High Junior, Nico Wise. Nico, thanks for joining me here today.
Yeah, thank you, Jesse. This should be a good one. Brookline, not the best start to the season, but toward the end of the season here, Brookline really looking to get a win, an important one. Last season they drew the series with Wellesley, took the one at home, lost the one here, 6-0. So definitely one for Brookline looking to get back on the road, and Wellesley really looking to make that playoff push as they're in 14th currently, looking to get as high of a seed as they possibly can. But Brookline 4-12, sitting at 32nd in the official power rankings, looking to prove their spot, get into the playoffs and make a push.
Absolutely. So, yeah, if the season ended today, both of these teams would be headed to the state tournament as the top 32 teams in the power rankings make it. Brookline, they've had some heartbreakers. They've lost all of their last 3 games by a margin of 1 run, 2 of those via walk-off. But because they kept them so close, their power ranking has stayed pretty solid here. Actually moved up a bit after playing it close with some high-ranked teams in Braintree and Natick, although both games were heartbreaking losses. And then, of course, Milton, the Milton game on Monday, just 1 run short of a comeback for Brookline after they came back from down 4 at one point. You can see the Wellesley team warming up in the field. Their starting pitcher for today, number 14, Max Boehm. Not the pitcher that Wellesley had the last time they faced Brookline, as these two teams faced off in Brookline back on April 10th. The Raiders besting Brookline 11-4 in that one. So we'll have some stats from that game to give you throughout this contest, as I'm just filling in some lineup cards here. And I'm just going to check and see who the right fielder actually is for Wellesley, because their lineup card had 2 players listed as their right fielder. So that's funny. I just find that funny. But it looks like we got number 4 in right field, and that's Andrew Daniel, and number 6, Dylan Crean, is in left field. So that all works itself out okay. And yeah, everything else looks good. So I got the full lineup here. Brookline's top of their order coming up. It'll be Fitzgerald, Hom, and Bollinger starting us off here in the top of the first inning, as we are now about to get this one going. Leading off for Brookline, the left fielder, number 9, Connor Fitzgerald.
Yeah, Jesse, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this was the starting pitcher when they played here. Possibly, I believe it was different, but I do recall the name.
Oh, yeah, Max Boehm has been a big name for Wellesley for a number of years, and whenever I see him listed as pitcher, as a fan of an opposing team, I do get a little nervous. Fitzgerald fouls that one off. Strike 1, he's facing a 1-1 count. In fact, I think I heard that Boehm is going to be playing for Harvard after he graduates, so definitely a high-caliber player for the Raiders, taking the hill against Brookline here today.
Yeah, just looked at the last game we had when they were here last year, and in fact it was. He did pitch when Warriors were shut out 6-0.
Yeah, so Brookline hoping for a better result today. Their offense has been clicking the past few games, and Fitzgerald clicks on that one, but a little too much lift on it, and despite the wind forcing some last-second corrections on that tracking, it is caught by the center fielder, Jack O'Grady, for out number 1.
Yeah, Grady did a good job there, Jesse. We'll see how much of a factor the wind's going to be, you know, with the pollen and everything going around. Wind hasn't been helping much, but especially here in baseball, it's going to be different to see how they're going to be able to react to it.
Now at the plate, the catcher, number 13, Felix Hom, as that one catches the outside corner for strike one. You can see the season stats at the bottom of your screen here. Hom with some pretty good hitting stats so far as he takes ball one in the dirt. But interestingly, in the last game these two teams played in April, Hom was absent from that game. I can't remember, but I think he was sick that day. I'm not sure, but big cut and a miss there for strike two. Hom so far this season, a batting average of .333, a team high on base percentage of .433, slugging of .412 with a team high 4 doubles, a team high 3 hit by pitches, and 13 RBI as he fouls that one off to stay alive.
Yeah, like you mentioned, Jesse, Hom really, really good on getting on base, and that's something that I think Brookline needs early on. Get someone on base, get a little momentum going, get a little stride, start this game off right.
Good check swing from Hom on the bouncing breaking ball from Boehm there. Ball two. That was a lot of B's. That was very alliterative. That one hits the zone. The fastball from Boehm blows right by Hom for strike three. Hey,
Yeah.
Nico, you had the stats from last year's game. Do you remember, do you have how many Ks Boehm picked up in that one?
I can check. I had it up and then I turned it right off, but
With an off-speed pitch like that to mix in with the fastball, you know he's going to be dangerous. As the shortstop, number 2, Hugh Bollinger, has a big cut and a miss at that one. And that one curves into the zone well. Strike two. Bollinger, Brookline's top hitter this season. He's been playing shortstop the past couple of games, replacing the injured Jimmy DiPaolo at that spot. Gets contact, a slow dribbler up the third base line, and that is going to be bobbled. And Bollinger is going to reach, might have had a chance for an infield single there on the slow roller, but it was bobbled by the third baseman, so at bare minimum he reaches on the E5.
yeah, Jesse got it up right now. Boom. Pitched a complete game, 8. It was the strikeout number for him. 6 hits.
Now batting for Brookline with a runner at first and 2 down, the first baseman, number 4, Thaddeus Gameau. Gameau takes a high ball one. Gameau's slash line so far this season, 310, 355, 328. 1 steal, 8 runs scored, and 6 RBI as that one misses for ball 2. He's been racking up the RBI in the past few games as the Brookline Bats have been going. The last 4 games, they scored 17, 9, 9, and 7. So the offense has been clicking. Defense has just been struggling as Gameau cuts and misses there. And if Boehm keeps up with his track record against Brookline, the offense could be facing a bit of a struggle here today. 2-1, the count to Gameau. Bollinger takes off. Gameau fouls it off, and Bollinger will have to retreat back.
Yeah, and I think a thing here for Brookline today, Jesse, is a huge thing. Just don't give up on innings. You know, if stuff's still not clicking, at least get contact on the ball and try and tire Boehm out. I mean, he is a high caliber pitcher, so we know he can go late, but the more you tire him out early it's going to be a key late in the game for Brookline.
And Gameau with another defensive swing to stay alive. Bollinger had taken off for second, but he'll be coming right back as the count remains 2-2. Yeah, those off-speed breaking balls from Boehm really throwing Brookline off balance so far. We see a lot of reaching swings. And there he goes for the fastball, and it just misses as Gameau giving him a fight here with a full count. Just what the doctor ordered, exactly what you prescribed there, Nico.
Yeah, that's what you want to see. If you're Brookline, you want to see that out of everyone who steps up to the plate.
Swing and a miss. Gameau can't time that one up on the payoff pitch. And with 2 strikeouts in the top of the first, Boehm gets out of his first frame unscathed. During this time between the top and the bottom of the first, I'd like to take a moment just to go through the full order for everyone today. Start with Brookline. We saw the first 4 batters for them. Left fielder number 9, Connor Fitzgerald. Catcher number 13, Felix Hom. Shortstop number 2, Hugh Bollinger. First baseman number 4, Thaddeus Gameau. The rest of the batting order: right fielder number 12, Harris Hodgson; center fielder number 24, Wally Lawrence. Starting on the mound, we see warming up number 3, Eli Hoffman. Playing the hot corner for Brookline, number 6, Armand Tandon. And playing second and rounding out the batting order, number 30, Danny Carballo. And we see Eli Hoffman's pitching stats for the season so far this season. He's made 5 total pitching appearances, 3 of them starts. He's got an 0-2 win-loss record, 1 save, 18 1/3 innings pitched, a 4.20 ERA, a 2.02 whip, and 18 total strikeouts. For Wellesley, the batting order today, leading off the second baseman, number 2, Will Zalosh, batting second. The catcher, number 22, Cam Lynch, batting third. We just saw him starting on the mound, number 14, Max Boehm. Batting cleanup, the third baseman, number 3, Chase Murphy. Batting fifth, the right fielder, number 4, Andy Daniel. Batting sixth, the first baseman, number 21, Cole DeFina. Batting seventh, the shortstop, number 1, Will Goggin. Batting eighth, the center fielder, number 27, Jack O'Grady. And batting ninth, the left fielder, number 6, Dylan Crean. Check me out. Got both starting lineups in just in time for the first batter of the bottom of the first. And this Wellesley team, like we mentioned before, they put up 11 runs on Brookline at, I believe it was still named Warren Field at the time. Now, of course, known as Joe Campagna Field back there in Brookline. But point is that Wellesley offense really clicked last time they faced Brookline. Leading off the second baseman, number 2, Will Zalosh, as he takes strike 1 from Hoffman. Last time against Brookline, Zalosh went 2 for 3 at the plate with 2 hit-by pitches, as well as a stolen base, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. That breaking ball breaks a little too much from Hoffman, low for ball 1. And that breaking ball, again, just dips a little out of his control, and Zalosh doesn't bite ball 2.
Yeah, a little bit of an issue we saw in his last outing at Newton South. Just a little bit of a control issue. See if he can line it in, as last time he was actually the starting pitcher when last season. He only pitched 4 innings, eventually replaced by Q Miller.
And this one skied out to right, and it'll be a can of corn for the right fielder, Harris Hodgson. And you're absolutely right, Nico, about the control issue. You know, we've been mentioning it a number of times throughout this season, the control issues for the Brookline pitchers. So far this season, through 16 games, they have issued 122 walks and 12 hit-by pitches. At the plate now, the catcher, number 22, Cam Lynch, as he takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. Lynch, back in April against Brookline, he went 1 for 5 at the plate with 1 RBI. That one misses as well, ball 2.
Yeah, Jesse, and to your point, the walks, I feel like, at least for me, that's really been the outstanding issue for this Brookline team. Just giving opponents opportunities to get men on, and all of a sudden, you're all the way back, and you got 2 in scoring position.
I definitely concur with that one there, Nico. You're living up to your last name for sure. Very wise analysis, I would say. 2-1 now, the count to Lynch. That one upstairs, ball 3. Hoffman behind in the count here at 3-1. This one hard hit up the third base line. It's going to go foul. And we got a full count here. And Lynch calls a timeout, and we'll see if Hoffman tries to fool him with a breaking ball out of the zone, or if he tries to hit the strike zone on this one. And he skies the fastball high over the left field side, out of play, and it will stay a full count. And Nico, given those walk numbers, I would really hope Hoffman keeps hitting the zone even in this situation.
Well, it's a good sign, even though opponents are getting contact, that he's getting his pitches in the zone.
That one just catches the low corner, well placed by Hoffman for strike 3.
Yeah, good start for him so far. See if he can keep it up, but that's the pitch you want to see out of him. And I think Jesse, most of the time, that's the pitch he's going for. It's just sometimes a little late and ends up in the dirt.
Yeah, sometimes just breaks a little bit more on him, but those ones that skip in the dirt almost kind of set up a pitch like that, interestingly enough, as they expect it to dip lower because it's been dipping lower, and then it doesn't dip as much and it catches the low corner. 1-0 the count to the pitcher, number 14, Max Boehm, pitcher against pitcher here as he gets jammed on that one, fouls it off for strike 1. Boehm had an electric day at the plate for Wellesley back in April against Brookline. 3 for 5 with a home run, a double, a steal, 2 runs, and 3 RBI.
Yeah, jack of all trades, Jesse. Hurt you on the mound, hurt you on the plate.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you're being called up to play the college game, especially at a place like Harvard, they're going to look for a guy like that. Big cut and a miss there, strike 2.
Yeah, last outing. Last year when we were here, he went 2 for 3, 2 stolen bases, 2 runs, and an RBI. So it wasn't.
I'm noticing
a
pattern here. Lines a shot, and the pattern continues with a liner out to left for a 2-out single for Max Boehm. And it's interesting, Nico. Brookline's has had a number of games where the pitcher has not been in the batting order. This is one of the few instances where they have him in the batting order. So we're actually going to see both directions, pitcher against pitcher in the batting order here today, as Hoffman and Boehm will face off on both sides. Now batting for Wellesley, the third baseman, number 3, Chase Murphy, takes ball 1. Murphy last time against Brookline, 1 for 3 with a walk, a hit by pitch, and a stolen base. As that one misses ball 2.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Kind of surprising as well. Hoffman was out here last time and Boehm got two stolen bases, and Hoffman is a lefty pitcher, so you'd think maybe he would get a little better of an angle. Just shows the ability of Boehm.
Yeah, for sure, as Murphy fouls that one off for strike 1. Certainly an aggressive base-running team, this Wellesley squad, as last time against Brookline they finished with 5 steals in total. That one low for ball 3. Similar kind of pitch to what we saw in the strikeout pitch against Lynch, but that one dipped just a little bit more and out of the zone. Hitters count here to Murphy, 3-1. And he misses that one high, and that will be his first walk of the day. And for Brookline's sake, hopefully not the start of a pattern.
Yeah, definitely.
Now at the plate, the right fielder, number 4, Andy Daniel. Runners at first and second, 2 down. First pitch, and Daniel slices it, strike 1. Daniel last time against Brookline, 2 for 2 with 2 walks and 2 runs scored, so he reached base safely 4 times against the Warriors back in April. That one gonna miss outside, ball 1. Hoffman appears to be favoring kind of the outside of the plate as well as working things vertically, low and high. And that one, was that fouled off? They say no, it was not fouled off. That'll be a passed ball is what I would score it as, either a passed ball or a wild pitch. I would say passed ball. What do you think, Nico?
Yeah, I would say passed. I think just a little unlucky for Hahn there. Just kind of got by him.
1-2 the count to Daniel, but now both runners in scoring position following the pass ball. Fouls that one off. And the Wellesley batters giving Hoffman a fight here with 2 outs in the inning. Slices that one foul over by us on this first base side. Out of play as Daniel continues to battle here, up in that pitch count early.
Yeah, it's something, something we talked about for Brookline, especially doing for Bohem, but kind of Wellesley took that, and now they're doing it against Hoffman, really keeping him out there, and Wellesley doing a good job.
This one lined up the middle. That's going to bring in at least one. Rounding third is Murphy as the ball is juggled in center field. But that's going to be a 2-run single for Andy Daniel as Wellesley strikes first.
Yeah, and with 2 down, really not what you wanted for Brookline. Just perfectly placed, and now got a man on first, and Wellesley strikes first.
Yeah, just a well squared up ball by Daniel. I mean, that's what's tough is you want your guys to keep throwing strikes to avoid the perils of the walks that they've been struggling with. But then when you face off against a strong opponent that just squares up your pitches so much, it makes you think, okay, I got to be trickier. I got to paint around the corners and stuff like that, and just causes some struggles sometimes.
Yeah, and Lawrence kind of bobbled that, and Daniel might have had a chance to go to second. Did stay on first, but, it's just really not what you want early on here for Brookline.
Yeah, that one I don't think any runners advanced further than they would have without the error, so nothing scored against Lawrence there, as that'll be strike 2. At the plate is the first baseman, number 21, Cole Defina. Defina, one of just 2 Wellesley players that did not get a base hit against Brookline last time, but he bloops one out to right, and that's going to drop in no man's land for a base hit. Daniel going to head down to third on the well-placed bloop single from Defina.
Yeah, bloop's perfectly placed there, and Hodgson has to run in all the way out from right field. Get that one down, but now you got another man on third. It's still 2 outs. Hoffman really has to control this one, getting out somehow, some way.
Now coming to the plate, the shortstop, number 1, Will Goggin. And again, it's so tough because the message for these Brookline pitchers this season has got to be throw strikes, throw strikes, throw strikes. And now you've got an inning where you've given up 3 hits with 2 outs, as that one's going to miss high to Goggin for ball 1.
Yeah, Jesse, and to your point, I think it's just almost a sense of trying to be too perfect with it. You really want to get that strike, and eventually, you're not at that level where your pitch is 100% every time and it misses that slight bit and your opponent gets a good catch on it.
And that's going to be a successful steal for Defina on that pitch, which I think itself was a ball. It looked like Defina was trying to bait a throw from Hom, and it looked like the second baseman, Danny Carballo, was a little slow to cover second base as it was. Very strange play there, but a good block from Hom to keep that one from getting by him. So there's always a chance for a score on a wild pitch. I think the count is 3-0 to Goggin. Goggin last time against Brookline went 2 for 5 with a run scored and an RBI. Swing and a miss there for what I think is strike 1, but I'm not sure. The ump not holding up any fingers to indicate the count. Okay, it is 2-2. I was wondering. Big gust of wind blowing here in Wellesley as Goggin lines that one. It catches a headwind, but it drops in shallow left. That'll bring in run number 3 for the Raiders as Goggin deposits that one in the bank.
Yeah, DePaulo just not able to extend up to grab that one. And another perfectly placed ball by Wellesley. Everything, really give credit to them, but they're putting balls in the right spots and allowing their team to go to work, and it's been going really well here.
Yeah, that one, not even, despite the headwind kind of slowing it down, still not within reach for the third baseman, Armand Tandon. As we've now got a meeting at the mound with the whole infield. As again, this is so tough. You know, Hoffman's been throwing strikes. He's been doing what he's supposed to do, but these Wellesley hitters, so tough. They've just been squaring him up again and again. 4 singles out of the last 5 batters, and the 5th one being a walk. And 3 runs now in for the Raiders. As now up comes the center fielder, number 27, Jack O'Grady. Runners at the corners once again. We might see Goggin go for second. As that one misses to the outside, there is going to be a throw down to second. They didn't get the tag down. The runner did not take off from third despite the opportunity. But again, seemed like infielders were just a little bit late to get there. And Hom, who was just trying desperately to throw from his knees, no chance there.
Yeah, this is really where you're missing Jimmy DePaulo. Just kind of throws the infield all out of order.
That one missing high for ball 2. DePaulo not just a senior co-captain, but also normally the captain of the infield at that shortstop spot, and also a big piece in the heart of the batting order. Absent for Brookline with a wrist injury that he suffered in the Natick game 1 week ago. 2-1 the count to O'Grady here. That one does catch the high corner for strike 2. O'Grady last time against Brookline, 1 for 3 at the plate with a walk, a sac fly, 2 stolen bases, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. That one missing to the outside, ball 3. Full count, 2 outs, runners at second and third. Hoffman not risking much with a potential walk, but could put an end to this inning if he gets strike 3. That one fouled off by O'Grady as he stays alive. And that's been another big theme for Wellesley as they've been battling, fouling off pitches to stay in these fights.
Yeah, unfortunately we don't have the capabilities for a pitch count, but we'd love to see where he's at right now.
Breaking ball, perfect from Hoffman. Strike 3.
Yeah, exactly what I mean, Jesse. That's what he's been looking for all inning. Gets it in the perfect time, and although down 3, decent end to that inning.
At the end of 1, the score, the Wellesley High Raiders 3, the Brookline High Warriors 0. As we move to the top of the second inning for Brookline, it'll be their 5, 6, 7 hitters, Hodgson, Lawrence, and Hoffman. And during this break between the first and second inning, I'd like to take a moment for a local charity spotlight. I'd like to tell you about the Brookline Education Foundation. The Brookline Education Foundation raises funds to help promote growth and innovation among Brookline educators, growth that can then be passed on to the children of this community. For over 40 years, this foundation has given out a variety of grants across the educational landscape. These include Idea Lab grants for teachers that want to present their students with new and exciting projects, and teacher grants for educators that want to further develop their own skills to bring to the classroom. Visit brooklineeducation.org or call 617-948-6999 to find out how you can help support our town's educators and, through them, our students. Once again, that's brooklineeducation.org or call 617-948-6999. And that link and phone number can be found in the description section of this video down below. Leading off for Brookline here, the right fielder, number 12, Harris Hodgson, as he takes an outside ball 1. Hodgson, so far this season, a slash line of 214, 333, 214, with 4 runs scored and 4 RBI as he fouls off the strike there. One of the batters who's really come alive with his bat over the past couple of weeks. That one catches the inside corner for strike 2. That one going to miss outside. Hodgson does not bite. Back in April against Wellesley, Hodgson went 0 for 2 at the plate with a walk, a run scored, and an RBI. As he takes that one high for ball 3. And Hodgson skies this one out to left center, but it's got a lot of carry on it. But the wind is catching it. Oh, but it is tracked down by Crean out in left field for out number 1.
Yeah, he just caught that one a little too high. I mean, with the wind, Jesse, that little more clean on the bat, and that might have been out. But you know, that's really what you want to see here out of Brookline. I mean, took it to full count, unlucky not to get anything, but I mean, that's what you want to see early in the second.
Now batting the center fielder, number 24, Wally Lawrence, as he takes strike 1 on the breaking ball there. Lawrence's slash line this season, 178, 315, 200. Tied for the team lead in steals with 5 to go with 10 runs scored and 5 RBI. That one skips in the dirt, ball 2. Lawrence, his bat gone a little cold the past few games, but still shows an ability to get on base and be dangerous on the base paths as he takes strike 2 there. 2-2 the count. And that one hits the zone for strike 3, third K of the day for Max Bohm.
Yeah, Jesse, and this is kind of what happened last year. He just, when he gets hot, and you know, it's really unlucky here for Brookline. But now we've got the duel we've kind of been looking at, pitcher.
Absolutely. Up to the plate now for Brookline, number 3, Eli Hoffman, their own starting hurler. We saw these two face off in the bottom of the first, and Bohm won that battle, getting a 2-out single and ultimately scoring Wellesley's first run. Hoffman caught chasing that breaking ball in the dirt for strike 2. Hoffman's stat line so far this season, 133, 316, 133, 2 steals, 4 runs, 2 RBI. Gets that off the end of his bat to stay alive at 0-2. That one skipping in the dirt, and this time Hoffman does not bite, ball 1. Bohm trying to put Brookline down in order this time. Bollinger, the only Brookline batter who has reached base so far, as that one crosses the plate in the zone before dipping low, and that'll be a called strike 3. Bohm puts him down in order with another pair of Ks. He's got 4 on the game so far. As we move to the bottom of the second, it'll be the 9-1-2 hitters coming up for Wellesley, Crean, Zalosh, and Lynch. Big gusts of wind blowing through in anticipation of tomorrow's rain. Brookline is scheduled to play another game at home tomorrow against Weston, but with the projected storms tomorrow, the likelihood of that game being postponed looks quite high. Gotta love that New England weather, huh, Nico?
Oh, totally. And Jesse, you know, to that point, it's going to be like 80 next week. So, you know,
hey, I'll take that. I'll take that every day of the week after the quote unquote spring that we've been having, and I put it in quote marks because seasons in New England are kind of like turn signals. Supposedly they exist, and supposedly they provide some kind of guidance of what's going to happen, but not exactly reliable in this area. Leading off for the Raiders here, the left fielder, number 6, Dylan Crean. That first pitch going to be high for ball 1. Crean went 0 for 4 at the plate against Brookline. Him and Defina were the only Wellesley hitters that did not get a hit that day, as the Wellesley offense really clicked to put 11 runs on the board. First 2 pitches from Hoffman miss, 2-0. And 3 straight misses to the outside of the plate. A 3-0 hitter's count here to Crean. And it's going to be a 4-pitch walk to start. And you wonder how much, all those hits from the first inning combined with facing down the power of Max Bohm during his turn at the plate might be shaking up Hoffman here. Back to the top of the order, the second baseman, number 2, Will Zalosh. That one, I think, missed for ball 1.
Yeah, just a little high.
Zalosh flew out to right his last time up. But another one misses, ball 2. And this is a problem Hoffman has had sometimes is, some innings he can really be in control and be hitting the zone, and then some innings it's like he can't buy a strike. Just gets a little streaky with his control sometimes. Pickoff attempt, and Crean goes back. You mentioned, Nico, earlier, that lefty throwing Hoffman. He has a quicker pickoff move at first. That pitch does catch the inside corner for strike 1. Runner goes. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Hom's throw down not going to be in time. Was a bit of an off-speed throw from Hoffman, looked like. So a good pitch to go on for Crean as he takes second on the steal. But Hoffman still gets strike 2.
Yeah, and good eye seeing that for Crean. Able to get out there quick, get on the bag, get a good steal on second.
This one lined up the middle into center. Crean is going to hold at third on that one. Another hit for the Raider bats.
Yeah, and like you said, Jesse, and just another single. I mean, it's not like they're getting doubles and triples. They're killing you with the singles, which just really is an issue right now.
It's been death by 1,000 paper cuts here from the Wellesley offense. They had 4 singles in the first inning, combined with a walk to produce 3 runs. Now they've got another single that has put runners at the corners, as the first pitch to Cam Lynch is going to be high for ball 1. Lynch went down on strikes his last time up, as Hoffman had really gotten off to such a good start in that first inning, getting the first 2 batters out, but since then it's been a rough time as Lynch skies this one out to right. This one will likely be, no, it's dropped. Hodgson drops that one. The run comes in. Would have been a sac fly irregardless, but instead they get a free run for basically nothing there.
Yeah, Jesse, and you wonder whether, that was the wind. There's barely any sun, so it's not the sun. I mean, you would think, at least for the most, probably be the wind that's the issue right now, but just wasn't able to get that one, and crucial error.
This one fouled off by Bohm for strike 1, and yeah, it's so tough because when you expect a wind-induced error, you'd think, oh, it pulls him way out of position. Hodgson was in position, had it right at his glove, just closed it a little too early. My question is whether he was thinking about throwing for the plate before he had the full catch, because that was a sac fly situation. you had Korean getting ready to tag third and head for the plate. You wonder if maybe Hodgson was thinking throw before he had the catch. This one's sliced foul and over our heads and out of play for strike 2. Bohm got a single his last time up as he kick-started that 2-out rally for Wellesley. All 3 of the runs they scored in the first inning came with 2 outs. That one skips in the dirt, well blocked by Hahn, but the runner takes off anyway, and he's going to get there on what I think we can score as a wild pitch that time.
Yeah, unlucky. But, you know, good there from Hahn, Jesse. I mean, he saw the runner going into third and didn't want to force anything that could have induced more of an error. So, good job there by him keeping the patience on that and just holding it. But now you got 2 in scoring position again, already down 4.
And they're going to take off on this one. Hahn kind of slipped trying to pick that up and turn it around. No dice as that wild pitch brings in another run for the Raiders. Zalosh aggressive on the base paths, in to score on that one. Lynch down to third. Full count to Bohm.
Jesse, got to remember, still no outs.
And there's not going to be an out this time as that's a high ball 4. Bohm draws the free pass, the second of this inning, third of the game for Hoffman. And it's like, again, it's like a catch-22 here. You pitch in the zone, the guys have been squaring you up. You pitch outside of the zone, you're just giving them a free base. You know, and I give him credit for going out there and continuing to throw his stuff, because a situation like that, it could be easy to wallow in kind of a hopelessness there. But Hoffman coming out, throwing a strike on his first pitch to the inside corner to the third baseman, number 3, Chase Murphy.
Yeah, a lot of steals so far this game, and last time we played here, Bohm had 2 of them, so Hoffman got to be careful.
Line shot, and that's in fair territory down the left field line. 1 run in, Bohm down to third, Murphy up to second with our first extra base hit of the day. An RBI double for Murphy.
Yeah, killing him with the singles, and, you know, they can then hurt you with the double, Jesse. And just really not Brookline's day, as Wellesley in 2 innings have matched what they did last time, Brookline, when they came here. But Hoffman, you know, to your point, Jesse, it's just really been unlucky. I mean, he's thrown his stuff, just Wellesley's got their number.
Yeah, it's tough. And again, this is why I got so much respect for defensive players, especially like pitchers and goalies and guys like that, where you just have to keep going out there and keep doing your job and just standing there almost like all alone in such an isolated position, even when things are going tough. You know, and Hoffman, he's going out there, he's taking his lumps, and he's still continuing to throw his pitches. Give the young man a lot of credit.
Yeah, Jesse, I mean, baseball is a team sport, but in the position he's playing, it's really just, it's you and the pitcher. I mean, you and the catcher, I guess, but really, I mean, catcher can do only so much. It's just really mental game. It just hasn't been going his way today.
A 3-0 count now to the right fielder, Andy Daniel, who got a 2-run single his last time up and later came in to score. No outs, runners at second and third. That one is going to hit the zone. Daniel taking that one all the way. 3-1 now the count.
Yeah, see if Hoffman can do something here. Get a strikeout, because you don't want anything going out deep, and possibility that he can tag after. But good last 2 pitches from Hoffman.
As that slight off-speed pitch there drops into the zone and induces a swing from Daniel, full count.
Yeah, he was able to end the inning like that. Now, he's basically got to start the inning with no outs here. See if he can get one here.
And the payoff pitch catches the inside corner. Well placed for strike 3. Now batting the first baseman, number 21, Cole DeFina. Defina got what I would probably categorize as the luckiest base hit for Wellesley so far, as he's going to foul off that first pitch for strike one, and it really was a swing almost similar to that, a reach to the outside part, as he just kind of sliced one right into no man's land in shallow right field in a spot where no fielder could get it. I mean, a hit's a hit, but still just a little bit of extra description to it. High ball one there, 1-1 the count. That one going to miss to the outside, ball two. Fastball too high, ball three. Three and one, the count to Defina here. And another fastball too high, and that'll be ball four.
Yeah, and Hoffman gonna get a little talk.
I think he might get the hook here. And yep, that's going to be the end of his day. 1 1/3 innings pitched for Hoffman. He's given up at the moment 6 runs, though he leaves 3 inherited runners that could be credited to him if they score against the reliever here, which will be Wally Lawrence. Hoffman going to just do a clean swap with him out to the outfield. We'll see if maybe they move him to one of the corners.
Yeah, I think maybe Fitzgerald will swap into that center field spot and Hoffman go out at left.
Yeah, I could see that. A tough day for Hoffman, and you hate to see it, and you especially hate to see how, for the most part, he was throwing strikes. Like, the walks started to get to him this inning, but only after, you know, just a lot of instances of guys squaring him up and that just getting in his head. So really tough to see, really tough to see a guy doing what he's supposed to be doing and then just ends up getting punished for it. Either way, we've got a new pitcher on the hill here. Number 24, Wally Lawrence, now on the bump for Brookline. He's made 5 previous pitching appearances this season, only one of them a start. He's got a 1-0 win-loss record, 11 2/3 innings pitched, a 4.80 ERA, a 2.23 whip, and 7 strikeouts. Lawrence got his first start of the season last week against Natick. Now he'll be facing the shortstop, number 1, Will Goggin, with the bases juiced and 1 out. I mean, technically, that last walk issued by Hoffman does put Brookline in a position where they could potentially get an inning-ending double play if they could turn it, if they get a ground ball into the infield. But I would likely expect that they'll put the corner infielders up on the grass to potentially cover a play at the plate, while the middle infielders will be pulled back for that potential double play.
Yeah, Jesse, it does look like there will be a swap as Fitzgerald will go to center and Hoffman out to left, just like we said.
Yeah, you called that one right. Stepping in, Will Goggin. His last time up, got an RBI single, was left stranded at second back in the first inning. First pitch from Lawrence is high for ball 1. Lawrence, for much of this season, he's been that kind of guy you can bring in and just throw strikes, especially when the team is already in a tough position and just needs a guy to throw strikes and just get out of the inning, however much damage might be suffered along the way. But so far, missing his first 2, 2-0. And the first 3 pitches from Wally Lawrence all miss high. 3-0 the count to Goggin. One more ball, and we'll see a run come in on a bases-loaded walk. But Lawrence hits the zone there for strike 1.
Yeah, I think first 3 pitches right there, Jesse. That's what he was looking for in those first 3. Just all 3 of them just high.
This one skied up in the air. In the infield, they call the infield fly, and it was caught anyway, and that's going to be a teachable moment for the middle infielders, Hugh Bollinger and Danny Carballo. Carballo, the one making the catch, but a little bit dangerous there. I think it was a infield fly call either way, so even if they had dropped it, it wouldn't have mattered. 2 down here in the bottom of the second. Now batting the center fielder, number 27, Jack O'Grady. Swing and a miss there. Strike 1. O'Grady went down on strikes to end the first inning. Wellesley is now batted all the way around. Every batter has seen the plate for the Raiders here in the second. As O'Grady slices this one, shallow right, Carballo tracking it. Had a good jump to the ball and snags it for out number 3.
Yeah, and Wally Lawrence, with some help from his defense, able to escape that. Lawrence not letting up any with bases loaded, but just a really tough start here for Brookline. It's top of the third here. They're going to have a little group discussion. I assume the message in there is just figure it out, try and get something, get someone on, however it may be, and try and get back in this game. Get a run or 2 at least this inning, and then try and hold Wellesley off for the rest of the game.
And remember, in baseball, there's pretty much no deficit that is completely impossible to come back from. You know, this is not a timed sport. We've seen Brookline come back from some large deficits. They came back from down 4 against Natick last week, although they ultimately lost in the final inning. They came back from down 4 against Milton on Monday, although, again, just faltered down the stretch. But it's not impossible. Against a strong pitcher like Max Bohm, it's going to be significantly harder, but it's not impossible, and you can't give up on that possibility until it's over. We'll see if their offense can find something, see if their defense can settle down under Lawrence in the innings to come. It'll be the 8-9-1 hitters due up for Brookline: Tandon, Carballo, and Fitzgerald. All right, here we go. Leading off for Brookline, the third baseman, number 6, Armand Tandon. And that one, a blazing fastball from Bohm for strike 1. Tandon so far this season 0 for 10 at the plate with 3 walks, a steal, and a run scored, as he takes that one high for ball 1. Tandon's been in and out of the lineup at various points this season as he takes high ball 2. Started out as a starting third baseman, then got moved to the bench as Bollinger got moved to third and Carballo took over at second. Now back in the infield here as Bollinger got moved to short to replace the injured Jimmy DiPaolo. Got a hitter's count here at 3-1. That one does catch the low corner. Bit of a slower strike call from the ump kind of makes the batter think, oh, maybe I got this. Nope, guess not. Fouled off by Tandon as he stays alive with a full count. And he pops that one straight up in the air. And that one goes off the tree, which I think technically made it unplayable, even if And so I think that's what the ump is explaining over to Cole Defina, that, yeah, after it touches the tree, it's an automatic dead ball. You can't catch it. Still a full count to Tandon. Okay, we got a slight problem with Nico's mic as Tandon fouls this one off. I'm going to try and fix it whilst I'm calling the game, so just give me a second here as we got another payoff pitch coming to Tandon. That's going to be strike 3. First out of the inning as Tandon goes down on strikes. And now as up comes the second baseman, Danny Carballo. I'm going to try and jigger with the mic a bit. Test. Okay. Fixed him. I have no idea what that first pitch was, whether it was a ball or a strike, but we'll roll with it. As that one fouled off, I think I just heard the first pitch was a strike, so Carballo now behind in the count, 0-2. Carballo so far this season, a slash line of 182, 270, 212, 2 steals, 6 runs, 6 RBI. And gets fooled by the off-speed there. A quick strikeout this time from Bohm. Back-to-back Ks, and now we cycle back to the top of the order with the now center fielder, number 9, Connor Fitzgerald. First pitch in there for strike 1 as we got some big gusts of wind blowing out here. And Nico, thanks for letting me know about the microphone snafu as that one skips in the dirt. Is part of the problem with these outdoor games, especially in the spring, is sometimes you get like a lot of static in the air that just messes with the microphone. Fitzgerald slices that one foul and out of play, strike 2. Fitzgerald, his first time at the plate, he flew out to center back in the top of the first. That one misses, inside ball 2. Everything sounding good on your end, Nico?
Yeah, I think so now. Just had to fix the...
That breaking ball catches the low corner. Another one where they say it crossed before dipping. And Bohm strikes out the side in the top of the third.
Yeah, and he's just been electric today, Jesse. And I mean, it has been. I mean, we don't cover the Wellesley games, but I assume this is fairly similar to how it normally is.
Yeah, you do kind of get the feeling this is business as usual for Bohm, about what they expect. It'll be the 9-1-2 hitters coming up in the bottom half of the inning for Wellesley, Crean, Zalosh, and Lynch. As Lawrence will come back out onto the hill, try and see if he can at least hold off these hot Wellesley bats that put up 3 runs in each of the first 2 innings. Remember, folks, the mercy rule in high school baseball is 10 after 5. If you are up by a margin of 10 runs or more at the conclusion of 5 innings, then the game is over. And in fact, Wellesley almost got that last time they faced Brookline back in April, but Brookline put together a 4-run rally that kept them from facing a mercy rule loss in that one. At least they did play the full 7. And Nico, if you're a Brookline coach, what do you hope to see from Lawrence here after he had a pretty strong 2/3 of an inning coming in the second?
Well, Jesse, I think it has to just be keep it up. I mean, first 3 pitches were, a little, but I mean, you kind of expect that, getting thrown right into the game. But then, like you said, Jesse, toward the end, he really showed it right there and got Brookline out of it with bases loaded. So I think, Jesse, it's just stay true to your game. If these next few innings, he keeps it tight, doesn't allow anything, gives Brookline a chance to put up a run or two per inning and maybe get back into this game.
Leading off for the Raiders, the left fielder, number 6, Dylan Crean. Crean led off last inning with a walk as he takes strike one there. We got a few raindrops starting to fall here in Wellesley. If this keeps up, I might have to grab a coat to throw over my laptop, as that's going to be a high ball one. One and one the count. This one hit, and that's going to get through the left gap into left field. It'll be a leadoff single for Crean.
Yeah, just another single for Wellesley. It's really been tuned to their game today, and unlucky there from Lawrence, but see if he can get it back into his hand. And
back to the top of the order with the second baseman, number 2, Will Zalosh. First pitch high for ball one. And man, you talk about the combination of the wind and the pollen. My eyes are starting to itch like crazy out here.
yeah, it's like when you get the rain, the pollen goes away for a day or two, and it just comes back even harder.
Comes back with a vengeance. Because all the plants that produce the pollen are like, yay, water, we get to thrive more. That means more pollen.
Yeah, it washes it away, and like I said, it just comes back in more. You and me both had the same thing last year. Can't get the pollen away.
Yep. 2-1 the count to Zalosh, who is 1 for 2 so far today with a fly out to right and a single. He scored on a wild pitch last inning. Another one high for ball 3, and I think this is the one part of Wally's game from last inning that we didn't want to see him replicate, is the consecutive high misses. And that time misses low, overcompensates a bit, and that's going to be a walk for Zalosh. So 2 runners on and nobody out, as up comes the catcher, number 22, Cam Lynch. Lynch 0 for 1 so far today with a strikeout and what would have been a sac fly if not for an error. Now laying down a bunt up the third base side, picked up by Lawrence. Throw to first is wild. Another reach on error for Lynch on an attempted sacrifice play. And everyone advances. That one goes out of play. Run number 7 for Wellesley.
Yeah, and really nothing Brookline can do here, Jesse. I mean, it's just, it's not like, they aren't playing their best game, but it's just got to give credit to Wellesley. I mean, they're just putting up their performance today, Jesse. It's been amazing.
So the E1 advances Lynch up to second as we got another wild pitch and another run coming in on said wild pitch. Zalosh in to score, and it's now 8-0 Wellesley.
Yeah, and I've seen a few people out there put their hands out, feeling the raindrop, and you really hope this is as much as it is, especially for you and me.
Yeah, especially like as the guy here with the electrical equipment, I would certainly prefer that it not keep up while I'm out here. Save it for a time when I'm indoors, please. Bohm gonna foul that one off for strike 2. He's now facing a 1-2 count. Bohm so far today 1 for 1 with a single and a walk and 1 run scored. Now with Lynch at third, he is in a position to drive in what would be Wellesley's 9th run if Lynch comes in to score. That one skips in the dirt, blocked with a little help from the ump, almost looked like. You know, we have a tiny bit of tree cover out here in Wellesley, which is nice, and I do appreciate it. This one skied up in the air and shallow. No, it carries all the way out to right. Hodgson is under it, makes the catch. Runner tags but holds as Hodgson made a nice throw back to the plate. Out number one.
Yeah, good arm there. And, I mean, if he had went, I think he probably would have made it with the hum mistake. But because of Hodgson's long throw and with the power and speed it had on it, made him stay. And another run does not score.
And now, as raindrops are starting to pick up a little bit, I am going to just take a little bit of precaution and throw a jacket over my laptop here as up comes the third baseman, number 3, Chase Murphy. First pitch in the zone, strike one. Oh and 1 the count. That one also hits the zone. Murphy behind in the count, 0-2. 1 out, runner at third. Swing and a miss. Lawrence fools him with the off speed there. Strike 3.
Yeah, well done there by Lawrence. Just kind of fooled him. And for the number of strikeouts Brookline has had this game, I think a majority of them has come from the breaking balls. Really been working. I mean, when they're working, they're working. But then you get to the point where you kind of overuse it and you get those balls that just spike right into the dirt.
First pitch to Andy Daniel is fouled off for strike one. Lawrence trying to keep it to 2 runs allowed this inning. He's got 2 down. And against 2 of Wellesley's tougher hitters in Bohm and Murphy, now draws a slow dribbler up the third base line, but it rolls foul. Owen to the count. Two down here, runner at third. Wellesley up by 8. And he drops this one right in front of the plate, but it went off his body, so it is technically a dead ball. If the ball hits the batter's body while he's still in the batter's box, that is an automatic dead ball, foul ball. So count still 0-2 to Daniel. That pitch misses low, ball 1. Breaking ball, brilliant from Lawrence to get strike 3, just like what you were talking about, Nico. Those breaking balls are what get the Ks for the Brookline pitchers.
Yeah, really well done there. And the inning with the man on third could have caused some more damage. And now, let's see if Brookline can do something to mitigate the possibility of the mercy rule, as if Wellesley keeps this up, that might be in play.
Yeah, they're just 2 away from triggering it. As we get ready for the top of the 4th inning. For Brookline, the 2, 3, 4 hitters, Hom, Bollinger, and Gameau. Due up here as we're just starting Brookline's second turn through the order. For Wellesley, we're already in the middle of their 3rd turn through the order. It's been a very tough one-sided contest so far. And Nico, just so you know, if this rain picks up and gets really intense, I do have another coat in my bag that you can throw on. I bring 2 coats in my suitcase on top of whatever I'm wearing to every outdoor game I cover now. I've had just too many bad experiences to not be that level of prepared.
Well, I mean, just to attest to the place where we we choose to reside in, as Boston, Brookline, Wellesley, just it's so unexpected with the weather. I mean, showed no rain, and now we're getting little drops that have started to pick up a little more. It really just it really is interesting.
Well, you haven't quite had the chance to choose to live here yet.
Yeah, no,
Once,
that
you
is.
know, once you grow up and go out on your own, then you can have the then you can have the choice. Leading off for Brookline, the catcher, number 13, Felix Hom, as he takes a high ball 1. Breaking ball drops in the zone there for Bohm, strike 1. Hom, his last time up, went down on strikes, pops this one foul over our heads. Strike 2. That one catches the outside corner. 4th straight strikeout. Sorry, let me correct that a little bit. 6th straight strikeout for Max Bohm. Dating all the way back to the 2nd inning, Bohm has put down the last 6 batters he's faced on strikes. Fastball gets by Hugh Bollinger for strike 1 there.
Yeah, I think the last time ball really had an opportunity to get into the outfield in the air for Brookline was a Hodgson shot that we thought maybe would get taken by the wind a little more. And I mean, beside that, it really hasn't been much anything here for Brookline. But it's not the fact that they're not really doing it. It's just the level of the pitcher is just unbelievable. I mean, coming off a 12-0 win. 12-0 win in Newton North, a team Brookline's really struggled with. I mean, Wellesley, whether it's they're just on a hot streak right now, which I really think that's what it is, and I mean that's what you want toward the end of the season, and Brookline just really not able to do it right now. But you'd love to see at least toward the end of the game, if the game gets out of reach, just trying to do something to at least give you some momentum into a game tomorrow against Weston.
And this one dropped foul up the third base line, and of course that's assuming the game against Weston even happens given the rain in the forecast. And speaking of Newton North, that is one of Brookline's 2 opponents on the schedule for next week. The last week of the regular season is they're scheduled to face Newton North and Framingham, as Bollinger chases the high heat there for strike 3, 7th consecutive K for Max Bohm. And now with 2 down and the base is empty, up comes the first baseman, number 4, Thaddeus Gameau. But yeah, Brookline, if they lose this one by a significant margin, that could have a real big impact on their spot in the power rankings, as right now they are clinging to their playoff lives here. 32nd in the power rankings coming into today, due to at least keeping their last few games close, even if they didn't get the wins. But if this turns into a blowout loss here to Wellesley, that could have a severe negative impact on them. Gameau times that one up for a grounder over to third. Thrown to first by Murphy. A simple 5-3 ground out, but at the very least, the strikeout streak comes to an end. 7 consecutive strikeouts from Max Bohm through 4 innings. He has got 9 total Ks. As we now move to the bottom of the 4th with Wellesley up 8. And, you know, Nico, it can be so tough as a fan of an opponent to be watching a dominant pitching performance like this. But you got to imagine that for Wellesley fans and even for any neutral fans that might be catching this is a heck of a show that Max Bohm is putting on here through these first 4 innings.
Yeah, I mean, it shows that there's just some levels to a, I mean, we're not at the collegiate, we're not at the pro level, so there really is some disparity in the gap between some of the pitchers. I mean, well, obviously we don't cover Wellesley, but I mean, I would assume he's by far their best pitcher. I just think, you gotta just appreciate what you're watching. I mean, it really is well.
Yeah, from what we heard before the game, Max Bohm, from what we heard, I think playing at Harvard next year. And I mean, that's if that's true, that's Division 1 baseball right there. Or not next year. He's class of 2027. He's not done with his high school career. So there's a chance Brookline's going to be facing this guy again next year. And boy, if that ain't just scary. And yeah, Max Bohm is a commit to Harvard here as a junior for Wellesley, class of 2027. And man, oh man, like you said, Nico, sometimes at the high school level, you just find guys who are like, oh, this guy's just on another level. Wally Lawrence back on the bump for Brookline for another inning of relief work. At the plate, the first baseman, number 21, Cole DeFina. First pitch low, ball 1. That one going to miss high for ball 2. Lawrence not missing by a ton on these pitches, but just a little bit off from where he needs them. That one is going to catch the zone for strike 1. 2-1 the count. Slices this one into shallow center, catches a headwind, and almost snagged by Carballo. Nobody's covering second. A throw to Lawrence. Oh, he got the tag! Wow! From a nice track to a tough drop to a heads-up cover of second and tag by the speedster Wally Lawrence. How about that for a zany play?
I mean, that's the definition of hustle, Jesse. I mean, can't get much better than that. I mean, that's your pitcher. I mean, he's playing center field to start the game. I mean, he's just doing everything for this Brookline team as senior presence. I mean, that's just really well, as could have gotten a man in scoring position and now get another out.
1 out. I think the count is 1-0 to Will Goggin. Doesn't matter as he skies this one out to left, being tracked by Hoffman. Diving catch. Did he make that? Yes, he did. Eli Hoffman with a highlight-worthy snag out there. And Brookline, they may be trailing by quite a margin here, but their defense bringing some entertainment factor here in the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, back-to-back. Really nice.
And now at the plate, the center fielder, number 27, Jack O'Grady, who takes strike 1 there. High ball 1 that time. And Eli Hoffman, who had such a tough day on the hill, makes, as at least one moment to take pride in out of this game with that diving snag there. That pitch from Lawrence missing low for ball 2. 2 down, bases empty here in the bottom of the 4th. Brookline trying to keep Wellesley off the board for the first time this game as that one sent foul up the third base line for strike 2. Wellesley put up 3 runs in the first inning, 3 in the second and 2 in the third. Brookline trying to keep them from scoring at all this inning. Full count now to O'Grady. Tips it into the glove, strike 3.
Yeah, beautiful hit in there from Lawrence. I mean, on the recovery play to his ability on the mound, really nice.
Some nice defense from Brookline, and the only thing I'm left wondering out of that inning is how do you score that play by DeFina? Because the question first is, do you score it an error on Carballo or a single for DeFina? And regardless, the guy's out at second, but it's just a matter of whether you give Defina a hit towards his own stats or an error towards his own stats, and also whether you credit a hit given up to Lawrence. But either way, that's one of those things where the stats not as important as the actual in-game result, because the in-game result is an out.
Yeah. I think maybe error, but I mean, at the end of the day, it was a great heads-up play, and really, I mean, that was kind of the start for that inning for Brookline. Just got the momentum, and then the wonderful catch from Hoffman, then a good strikeout by Lawrence to end the inning. So,
and Lawrence and Hoffman will be two of the players due up in this inning. It'll be Hodgson, Lawrence, and Hoffman coming up against Bohm, who, depending on how that play by Bollinger was scored, whether it was scored an infield hit or an E5, and kind of leaning towards E5. If it's an E5, then it's a no-hitter going for Max Bohm so far through the first 4 innings. At the plate, the right fielder, number 12, Harris Hodgson. He takes ball 1 there. Hodgson, his last time up, flew out to left. Couldn't keep up with the fastball there, strike 1. And when you've got a fastball that is so hard to keep up with, that just makes your off-speed stuff that much more deadly because guys are overcompensating. But that breaking ball hangs, and it's a good eye from Hodgson for ball 2.
Yeah, Jesse, and to your point, I think, for the collegiate and pro level, it's also pitchers are usually throwing about the same, but in high school, I mean, they're really not used to this. I mean, that's probably a huge jump. I mean, he's got to be throwing a lot faster than most of the guys who are thrown out in the bump.
And that one fouled off by Hodgson as he'll stay alive at 2-2. Again, Max Bohm in 2 years, he's going to be pitching for the Crimson over in Cambridge. As that one's going to be high for ball 3. And this one lined into right. The no-hitter is over as Harris Hodgson squared that one up perfectly for the leadoff single.
Yep, perfect, Jesse. I mean, that's really what you wanted. Hadn't gotten it until the top of the 5th, but there's a play for Brookline. See if that can move some momentum for them.
If nothing else, they at least escape the possibility of a no-hitter. As now up to the plate, the center fielder, number 24, Wally Lawrence. Fouls that one off, was a little behind that. Strike 1. Lawrence went down on strikes his last time up, was the first of that streak of 7 consecutive hitters that went down on strikes for Brookline. Breaking ball had him fooled there, strike 2. Lawrence caught leaning back, got fooled by the inside curve. Fastball does hit the zone for strike 3. Lawrence down on 3 pitches.
Yeah, and for how well he was playing on the mound, I think he's probably a little upset with himself, but got to give credit for what he's doing on the other side.
Now batting the left fielder, number 3, Eli Hoffman, as we got a pickoff attempt on Hodgson. But he dives back safe. Hoffman also went down on strikes his last time up. Checks his swing. Hodgson thought about going, but a little too hesitant there. And that's the thing about stealing a base. It's kind of like sprinting in track. If you don't get out of the blocks well, you're just screwed there. So in the case of baseball, where you don't have to run, if you don't get out of the blocks well, sometimes it's better just not go. 1-1, the count to Hoffman. That one in the zone again, strike 2.
Yeah, Jesse, you know Hoffman would like to get something here. The pitcher-pitcher duel.
Checks his swing on the low one, ball 2. Eli Hoffman, the pitcher currently on credit for the loss, unless Brookline can perform a miraculous comeback. That one misses high and away, ball 3. Bohm, meanwhile, he has finished the required 4 innings for a starting pitcher in high school to qualify for the pitching win as a starter. Hoffman hits it on the ground, goes off of Bohm's glove, tracked down by Goggin. Throw to first is in time for out number 2. Hodgson does get to second. Hoffman almost had a chance to leg that one out after it bounced off of Bohm's glove, but Will Goggin with a very nice recovery to make the 6-3 play.
Yeah, really good effort there. Just unlucky wasn't able to get there in time, but a great effort from Hoffman.
Brookline has their first runner in the scoring position today. Hodgson standing at second with 2 down. Now up the third baseman, number 6, Armand Tandon, as he takes ball 1. Tandon went down on strikes his last time up. Makes a chopper over to third. It's blocked at third. Picked up, thrown by Murphy. Not in time. Tandon legs it out. And that's another one where it's borderline whether you call that an E5 or a single. For now, I'll say an E5, as Murphy not able to field the grounder, only able to block it. If that does end up being a score to hit, that would be Armand Tandon's first high school career base hit at the varsity level, as we got a couple of we got a fake throw to third and a throw over to first by Bohm, trying to trick the Brookline base runners. Does not trick them as they both retreat back safe. At the plate, the second baseman, number 30, Danny Carballo. Sliced that one foul for strike 1. Brookline starting to more consistently get bat on ball against Bohm. And the breaking ball got away, but only just barely. Not enough room for the runners to take off there. So they both hold 1-1 the count to Carballo. Carballo went down on strikes his last time up. Fastball there, hits the zone, strike 2.
Yeah, and with runners on corners, Jesse, I mean, you really would like to see Brookline get at least a run here. I mean, with 2 outs, it's really, you got Carballo not as experienced as some of the other guys out here, but see if he can show something.
And he shows us a foul ball. Out of play to stay alive, 1-2. Still needs to swing a little faster if he wants to time up with Bohm's fastball, but then you know he can bring an off-speed pitch at any moment. Not on that one, as that's going to be a high ball 2 as Tandon takes second unopposed on the steal. 2-2 the count. Makes contact, a grounder towards the hole, picked up by Goggin, long throw to first. Oh, they beat him by a fraction of a step. That one was so close. Carballo was hustling up the line, almost beat the throw, but not quite, and that will end the inning. But Brookline able to put that ball in play 4 times against a pitcher that had previously put down 7 straight on strikes. But we are now in a situation going into the bottom of the 5th where if Wellesley scores 2 runs, then the game will end on effectively a walk-off.
Yeah, Jesse, I mean, by far Brookline's best inning, and I think especially it just shows the grit of the team. I mean, down 8, it's really easy to just give up, and you know, bottom of the 5th, I mean, really their best inning by far, and really just did a great job just getting on base, got runners in the corners. Unlucky for Carballo, wasn't able to beat the throw, but, you know, definitely shows something late in this game, and let's see if Lawrence can keep this game alive. 2 runs would end it, but, you know, Lawrence has shown it, so see if he can do it.
And you know what I really like about that last inning, Nico, building on the point that you made? That was the bottom of the order that was doing that. You know, one of the big factors in this team's offense really coming alive these past few games is that the guys at the bottom of the order have stepped up in a big way up and down the line. And we saw that. I mean, those were in a lot of cases, those are guys where it's like, hey, if you go out down on strikes against a guy like Bohm, that's a D1 talent. That's a guy that no one would hold it against you if you went down on strikes again. And yet, 4 out of those 5 guys put that ball in play, and one of them got a base hit. So, I think there's a lot they can take pride in from that top half of the inning, the batters that came up in that one. But that said, now the onus on the defense to try and keep this game alive. Had a couple of highlight-worthy plays last inning, but we'll see how they do against the 9-1-2 hitters. Dylan Crean at the plate for Wellesley. A 1-1 count he now faces against Lawrence here in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, Jesse, to your point.
A grounder hit towards the gap, fielded by Bollinger. Long throw to first is in time. Great sliding snag by Hugh Bollinger. A deep throw from short, and yet a quick pop-up to his feet to make that long throw for the 6-3 ground out. That was far from routine.
Yeah, really good, perfect throw to catch.
And now with 1 down, up comes the second baseman, number 2, Will Zalosh. First pitch, strike 1. And Nico, I think you were about to say something before Bollinger made that play there.
No, yeah, I was just gonna touch on it a little bit. Like you said, Jesse, really end of the order coming up strong, and I think it's a lot of guys getting put out there in a situation they're not used to due to some of the injuries that we've had this season. But to your point, Jesse, I mean, they're really stepping up. Showed it right there at the end of the order. I mean, that's the end of the order, and usually you think of guys like DePaulo or Bollinger to do stuff like that, but really shows this team end of the order doing all that.
That pitch gonna miss for ball 1. It's a 1-2 count to Zalosh. Last time up, Zalosh drew a walk and came in to score on a wild pitch. But he chases the breaking ball from Lawrence. Strike 3.
Yeah, really well done there from Lawrence. That breaking ball put in perfectly. Been working well for both him and Hoffman.
And now coming up, the catcher, number 22, Cam Lynch. Lawrence 1 out away from securing a 6th inning for this ball game. First pitch to Lynch, going to miss, ball 1. Lines a shot into left, going to drop in front of Hoffman for a 2-out single.
Yeah, and again, Jesse, those singles working right back in to where it was. Kind of paused for a little bit as Lawrence was able to control it, but it's really what Wellesley's been doing amazing so far this game. It's working well. Got a man on first.
Now batting the the pitcher, number 14, Max Bohm. First pitch, and he skies it. This might be playable. Hom trying to track it. No, Lawrence tracking it, and Lawrence has got it for out number 3. Boy, a straight up in the air play like that. I don't think Bohm even expected that one to go into fair territory, but the wind caught it, and Lawrence tracked it very well for the 3rd out, and we will have a 6th inning here in Wellesley. And as we move to the 6th, it'll be the top of the order due up for Brookline, Fitzgerald, Hom, and Bollinger. And we'll see if they're able to take any inspiration from the grit that the bottom of the order showed last inning, putting an end to the no-hitter for Max Bohm, and even moving runners all the way up to 2nd and 3rd. We'll see if maybe they can have some kind of a push. We had a note in the live chat, I think a couple innings back, from PAR042 saying, well done, Brookline, on the great defense. Never give up. And indeed, the defense really locking in ever since Lawrence took over, as he did give up 2 runs in his first full inning back in the 3rd, but since then, he's been shutting them down in both the 4th and 5th innings. So 3 2/3 innings of work so far for Lawrence. 2 runs allowed. And an error played a role in those runs scoring. So it'll be a question of how many of those runs are even earned. That's something I'll try and calculate myself later. Leading off for Brookline, the center fielder, number 9, Connor Fitzgerald, as he takes that ball in the dirt for ball 1. Fitzgerald, his last time up, he went down on strikes. Before that, flew out to center, 0 for 2 so far. Hits a hard bouncer headed up the middle, but fielded by Goggin. Thrown to first, a little bit of a wild throw. And they're saying, no, he didn't make the tag. The throw pulled Defina off. And Fitzgerald's going to reach on the throwing error there on an E6. Defina got his foot pulled off the bag, tried to do a quick turnaround tag on Fitzgerald, but the first base ump said he didn't make it. Felix Hom, first pitch, hits a chopper deep into the infield, and that is going to be a clean infield single for Felix Hom. The Brookline offense starting to wake up.
Yeah, Jesse, just a little from last inning, just kind of working it back in, and Hom played that perfectly. I mean, I don't know if it was the bounce, but it just kind of slowed down and wasn't able to get to it, and now they got 2 on.
And the courtesy runner coming in for the catcher, Felix Hom. It'll be Bryce Hellendrung. As up to the plate comes the shortstop, number 2, Hugh Bollinger. Bollinger himself 0 for 2, I believe, with a reach-on error and a strikeout. 2 runners on. This is Brookline's most powerful hitter this season. He's got a home run and 4 triples so far this season. Big swing and a miss, strike 1.
Yeah, I swear, try to see if the power of Bohm will show here. Just try and beat him with speed.
8 total extra base hits for Bollinger. 1 here could potentially get Brookline on the board as he lines a shot down to left. That's a fair ball down the left field line. Runners off to the races. Fitzgerald going to come in to score. The shutout is over off an RBI single from Hugh Bollinger.
Yeah, played perfectly. Well done there by Hugh, and just able to place that in perfectly. And Brookline on the board. Really, really well done.
And that might be the end of the day for Bohm. At this point, no hitter's gone. The shutout is gone. And, yeah, that's where they're going to yank him.
Yeah,
and we'll have a new pitcher.
Yeah, I think that was the right play there. I mean, you don't get, just credit for him just going to try and throw for the no-hitter, but you get to a point where you really think this game's out of reach. Don't want to do anything to harm him. I mean, get him as prepared and ready as you can for the next game that he'll be starting. And I think, save him. No point of forcing anything.
New pitcher on the bump for Wellesley is going to be number 10, Jake Murphy. And, yeah, we talked about how the bottom of the order started to unlock something there in the 5th inning, and the top of the order, the top hitters for Brookline, really able to take that momentum and just carry it, starting with the speedy Connor Fitzgerald. That might be scored as an E6 because the throw pulled the first baseman off the bag, but a slower runner than Fitzgerald, and the guy is still out. So Fitzgerald, gets credit for kind of a forced error, I would say. And then Felix Hom puts the chopper into a spot deep in the left side of the infield where, a long throw not possible. I know we saw Bollinger make a quick long throw from short, but the reason I said that play is not routine is exactly for that infield single we saw from Felix Hom. That's what can happen a lot on those plays. And then Bollinger, with perhaps the nicest piece of hitting we've seen from Brookline so far today, lines a shot down the left field line might have potentially been extra bases if not for the fact that the runner at second couldn't really chance it at third from that angle, which holds Bollinger at first. But he still gets an RBI single, adds to his team-leading RBI mark, as Connor Fitzgerald gets to add to his team-leading runs scored mark. And Brookline, they can hang their hat on this not being a shutout, even if, that this ultimately ends up as a loss. But we'll see how they do against the Wellesley reliever, Jake Murphy, as he takes over here with runners at first and second and nobody out here in the top of the 6th. At the plate, the first baseman, number 4, Thaddeus Gameau. Murphy turns around to check on the runner at second, but does not throw. First pitch, gonna miss, ball 1. Gameau, his last time up, ended that strikeout streak that Bohm had with a ground out to third. And that really kind of started the streak of Brookline getting the bat on the ball. And as they started digging their way out, Gameau skies this one deep out to left. Korean on his horse, back towards the wall. Goodbye! Thaddeus Gameau with a shot to the moon. And it's a 3-run dinger for Brookline.
Amazing, Jesse. And Brookline, somehow we weren't giving them credit, but Brookline now back into it.
Unbelievable. We were talking about a potential mercy rule loss just a half inning ago. And now Brookline has cut Wellesley's lead in half. And that one went high, and I was thinking, oh, that might be too high, might be a flyout, but it just kept going and going, and I saw Korean running further and further back, and I was like, no way! But Gameau said yes way, and it's a 3-run homer for Brookline. And now at the plate, the right fielder, number 12, Harris Hodgson. He broke the no-hitter his last time up with a single. Now hits a grounder, fielded by Defina, flips to Murphy at first, and that will be the first out of the inning on a 3-1 ground out. But man, what a wild season this has been. I'll tell you, Nico, this is my 6th season covering this Brookline High baseball team. And prior to this season, through the first 5 seasons covering this team, I saw one home run. The team had hit 2 in those 5 years. Check swing grounder from Lawrence right back to Murphy. And that's going to be a 1-3 ground out for out number 2. But the team had hit, as a team, 2 home runs over the past 5 years. But now this year they've hit 3 in just this season alone. 1 by Bollinger, 1 by DePaulo, and now 1 by Thaddeus Gameau.
Yeah, Jesse, I recall sometime last season I'd asked you about the amount of home runs you had seen, and I do recall you saying that number was 1, and I thought this may be the season, and I think it was, Jesse. 3 now, you say. I think I've seen 2. I believe that is correct, and it's really, really something here for Brookline. Whether they get the win or not this game, I mean, it's sure looking like it's a possibility of a comeback, as now it's only 4.
Hoffman going to pop this one down the left field side, fouling out of play. 1-2 the count. And it really was just the gradual learning of how to handle the hard pitching of Max Bohm, finally getting some contact, and now attacking at the reliever, although Jake Murphy has rebounded nicely after giving up a home run to Thaddeus Gameau on the first batter he saw. Hoffman hits a chopper towards the gap. Goggin charged in to get it, but didn't bother throwing. Might have juggled it on the exchange, but not really enough that I would necessarily score that an error. I would personally score that an infield single. I might double check it on Game Changer, but for now, that's what I'm giving him.
Yeah, good speed there. Beat it out. Beats any possibility of a throw, and the throw was just held. Well done there by Hoffman.
A throw back to first, a little bit high, but Defina big enough to get it with ease as Hoffman dives back. At the plate, the third baseman, number 6, Armand Tandon. This one in the dirt, but well blocked by Lynch. Ball 1. Tandon, by my own count, 0 for 2 so far today with a strikeout and a reach on error. That one missing to the outside. 2-0. Hoffman taking off for second. It's a low ball 3. Hoffman not going to get there in time, and that is how the inning is going to end. Aggressive on the base paths, but not quite fast enough. But Brookline not only ends the shutout, they put a dent into that Wellesley lead, courtesy of some nice base running from Connor Fitzgerald, couple of nice pieces of hitting from Felix Hom and Hugh Bollinger, and then one big swing from Thaddeus Gameau. It'll be the 4-5 hitters, 4-5-6 hitters due up for Wellesley: Murphy, Daniel, and Defina. And I'm still just incredulous that this game is where it is right now, given where it was just an inning ago.
Yeah, I just recall us talking about how we had that inning where the back part of the order really just came up strong and at least showed something, and now we spoke going into that last inning that, you know, maybe this could show for the start of the order, and it really did. And Brookline gets 4, and
yeah. I mean, that again, we were celebrating an inning where Brookline got 1 base hit and 2 base runners, but no runs, and left 2 stranded in scoring position. With how much Brookline had struggled against Bohm all game long, that was a cause for celebration. But it really just served as the table setter for the top of the order to come through, and for the cleanup man, Thaddeus Gameau, to just launch a rocket over the left field fence. First pitch to Murphy, going to hit the zone for strike 1. That one going to miss high, ball 1. And this one rocketed out to right, and it's going to go over Hodgson's head off the fence. Murphy going for extra bases, and he's going to slide in with a leadoff double.
Yeah, he almost kind of sliced it, but I mean, there's so much power in that bat. I mean, almost could have gone over the fence. Lucky that fence is a little taller than the rest, or if that was on the side of where Thaddeus Gameau put it, I mean, that might have been out of there, but just a lot of power, gets all the way out to second. Another runner in scoring position here. Brookline wants any chance. Lawrence going to have to keep this one in.
Almost a pickoff at second by Felix Hom. Murphy just barely dives back. Bollinger almost making the tag there. As they were showing bunt, Daniel was showing bunt. He pulled back, and as a result, Murphy kind of stumbled on his way back to second, and Hom almost took advantage with a pickoff throw there. I think the pitch itself was a ball, but my goodness, in all this excitement.
Yeah, and Jesse, while we have the little chance to speak about it, just want to mention that during Thaddeus and I have a math class together, and during math class today, toward the end, as we usually do speak about it before I go, if I'm covering a baseball game, obviously that he's on the team, we joke that today was the day he would hit a home run, and well, it did come true.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the prophecy had to be fulfilled eventually, and today was that day.
Yeah, I don't know how many times I talked to Jimmy about it last year that, that was that day was going to be the day he would do it, and, it wasn't his day up until this year, but, finally came true for someone.
Yeah, a couple of guys getting their day. To send one over the fence for Brookline this year is now 3 dingers as a team for Brookline, Bollinger, DePaulo, and Gameau. One of the most electric offensive seasons I've ever seen out of this Brookline team in my 6 years of covering them. It's just been a tough year defensively for them. They haven't had a lot of depth to their pitching, so they've had to rely on guys going very deep into ball games, and I think that's really worn on the few arms they have as the season's gone on, as this one from Lawrence misses high, and it's a full count now to Daniel with no outs and a runner at second here in the bottom of the 6th inning. That's going to miss. Oh, I lost track of the count, I guess.
Yeah, I think now it's 3-2.
I guess it is now. Sliced foul, and Daniel stays alive at 3-2. Last time up, Daniel struck out to end the 3rd. Before that, struck out in the 2nd and singled in the 1st, so he's 1 for 3. And that one misses for ball 4. We thought he had ball 4 earlier in the at-bat, but now he's definitely got it.
Yeah, Jesse, and with no outs right now, I mean, really, I think if you're Brookline here, you're looking at a double play to possibly save you, to keep you, to go to the top of the 7th and possibly put up 4, but it's going to be really difficult here, and all eyes on Wally Lawrence to see what he can do to try and get Brookline out of this jam.
Brief turnaround, a look at second, but no throw. Runners at first and second, a force at every base except home. Cole DeFina shows bunt, pulls back as that one skips in the dirt for ball 1. We saw them do a similar thing with Daniel when he was at the plate. He showed bunt on the first pitch, but now with a chance to move runners to second and third. Shows bunt again, lays it down. Lawrence comes in to get it. Throw to first. Carballo there covering. And that is a successful sac bunt for Cole DeFina, moving 2 into scoring position. Second and third, 1 out. Up comes the shortstop, number 1, Will Goggin. The entire infield up on the grass for Brookline for a potential play at the plate if Goggin hits it on the ground. Skips in the dirt, went off of, I think, the foot of the umpire there to save a potential wild pitch. Wellesley has already scored on a wild pitch earlier today. He's got to be wary of that. Murphy at third, Daniel at second. That one in the zone, strike 1. Goggin, his last time up, flew out to left. Before that, popped out to second, as that one just misses for a ball. Goggin 1 for 3 so far today, as he got an RBI single back in the first. Skips away, wild pitch, runners coming to the plate. Hom's not going to get to it in time. That is run number 9 for the Raiders. Murphy in to score on that play. Daniel down to third. Hard grounder snagged by Bollinger, going to the plate. Tom caught it, makes the tag. What a great play by Bollinger and Hom to get the lead runner and save a run.
Yeah, Jesse, today really wasn't one of Hom's best days. I mean, not all of them, not all of it has exactly been his fault, but right there, Jesse, proving why he's really been a great catcher here for Brookline in his career. Last season for him, obviously, but you know, Jesse, got to give credit for Felix Hom. I mean, he's really done it all, and I mean, he's really just been amazing here for Brookline, showing it there. That was a great play.
Runner taking off for second, and on a low and away pitch like that, no chance for Hom to make a throw. Ball one to Jack O'Grady. A runner back in scoring position, as I think that pitch also missed for ball two. That one does catch the low inside corner. Strike one. Two down, runner at second. Wellesley up by 5. And that's going to be a low ball 3. Swing and a miss, strike 2. A full count here to O'Grady. 2 down, runner at second. Hard shot, what a catch! Armand Tandon with the glove there to end the inning.
Yeah, perfectly timed jump from Tandon, able to get up there and snag that one out of the air. Could have been dangerous if that one landed. Really well done there, and Brookline needs 5 in this. A little out of reach, but, you know, all in all, Jesse, saying that, I mean, Brookline got 4 the inning prior, so, I mean, showing, like you said, a little earlier in the game, anything's possible in the game of baseball. Nothing's out of reach. Brookline needs 5 here, but
we'll see if Brookline can pull off a miracle in the final inning. I mean, they did put up 4 last inning, so you never quite know. But they're going to need a miracle from their 8-9-1 hitters, Tandon, Carballo, and Fitzgerald, to at least get them started here against the reliever Jake Murphy. And even if they can't come all the way back, Nico, if Brookline can still put a dent in this lead, that could go a long way towards, you know, keeping them in the playoff race, because they are facing a higher-ranked team. So their strength of schedule will still, you know, remain relatively high off of a game like this. The question is, can you keep your average margin at a higher level? You know, the last 3 games, you only lost by 1 run each. That keeps your margin relatively intact. If you can get this one close, that could go a long way.
yeah, Jesse, that is a really good point, as, you know, Brookline obviously looking to make that push. I mean, they are in 32nd right now, but, you know, keeping, like you said, keeping it close would be a huge one for them, and also just, you know, kind of a morale boost, I think, going into the next game. I mean, next week, they have 2 games, and I really think that, you know, even if this one doesn't go their way, I mean, they got 3 left, I believe, after this. I mean, if you win those 3, I mean, it can put you in a much better position, and keeping this close, like you said, you know, in the prior games, playing a tougher ranked team and only losing by 1 really does help you, even if you are not credited with the win. So even if this one doesn't go their way, getting a few on the board, getting this to a, you know, 2 or 3 run difference could go a long way.
First pitch to Tandon, gonna miss for ball 1. Tandon was up last inning, but runner was caught stealing. Takes one in the dirt there for ball 2. Tandon so far today 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a reach on error.
Yeah, he was just involved in the play that ended the last inning. Great catch, and now put in another position where he's got to make a play.
That one does catch the low corner for strike 1. 2-1, the count to Tandon. Hard grounder over to third, bobbled a bit by Murphy. Turnaround quick throw is in time for the out.
Wow, that is a really, really well done. I mean, from one of a faster type hitters here for Brookline, not able to make that. I mean, just got to give credit. Third base to first base. I mean, really just great connection. Spin around throw, just made it in time. Really, really well done from Wellesley. Just really unlucky there from Tandon as he was put it in the right position, got it right there. Just wasn't able to get to the bag.
And almost to the same spot where he got his reach on error his last time at the plate. It looks like he might get it again, but Murphy able to recover that time to complete the 5-3 ground out. One down, and at the plate now is the second baseman, number 30, Danny Carballo. Carballo almost legged out an infield single his last time up, but was thrown out from short. 2-1 now the count. Carballo 0 for 2 so far today with a strikeout and that ground out. Trying to see if he can light a spark here at the bottom of the order here in the final inning of this game. And that one skips in the dirt. Ball 3. Carballo 1 ball away from at least getting on base, perhaps setting things up for the top of the order. Ooh, went around on that one, and you could tell he's frustrated with himself. He was squaring that one up, but it came in high and inside, which he did not expect, and ends up going around. Full count. And that one hits the zone for strike 3. Tough reversal of fortune for Carballo in that at-bat as he goes down on strikes. And now Brookline down to their last chance with the center fielder, number 9, Connor Fitzgerald. That's going to be a high ball 1. Fitzgerald got that rally started last inning, reaching on an E6 and then later coming in to score on the single by Hugh Bollinger for Wellesley's first run, for Brookline's first run against Wellesley. Ugh. Now a 2-0 count. That one does hit the zone, strike 1. Fitzgerald 0 for 3 at the plate with a run so far, as that one going to miss to the outside, ball 3. And that one misses by a lot, and Fitzgerald going to trot down to first with a 2-out walk. Well, the game is not over yet, like we said in baseball. It's one of those games, it's not timed. You have to get that last out. And now at the plate for Brookline, trying to keep things alive, the catcher, number 13, Felix Hom, as he takes strike 1. Hom 1 for 3 so far, as he got an infield single his last time up. His courtesy runner came in to score. Skies this one is shallow right. They're given chase, and it is snagged by Zalosh. A highlight-worthy snag to rob Hom of a potential hit and end the ball game. The final score here in Wellesley, the Wellesley High Raiders 9, the Brookline High Warriors 4. Well, not the result Brookline wanted, but given how this game started through the first few innings, definitely a valiant finish for the Warriors as they avoid the no-hitter, avoid the shutout, and got some nice highlight plays to boot. That said, Brookline will still fall to 4-13 on the season, while Wellesley improves to 9-7.
Yeah, Jesse, all in all, not the best game from Brookline, but last few innings on the defensive side and on the offensive side, really just much better than those first few, and should give some hope and possibility for Brookline in these last 3 games that they have for a better result.
Well, thank you all so much for tuning in today. Alongside Nico Wise, I'm Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. A couple of notes in the live chat. Brawl Stars Memes 001 saying go Brookline earlier in the game while it was still going. And then PAR 042 chiming in again saying love the fight the boys are showing. And they definitely showed a lot of fight towards the end, just wasn't quite enough to undo the damage of those early innings. Well, that's going to do it for this one. Alongside Nico Wise, I'm Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Remember, folks, if you enjoyed this broadcast, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you to all those who brought the good vibes in the live chat today. If there's anything you'd like to say after the live stream is concluded, you can say it in the comment section down below. You can also go down below to the description section of this video, where you can find a link and phone number for our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Education Foundation. You can also find some links related to me that you can also see in the bottom right corner of your screen. My personal website, jessesports.com, my email, and my social media accounts on Instagram and Facebook. I'll be posting some highlights from this game either tonight or more likely tomorrow. So be sure to be on the lookout for those, because we got a few nice highlights from this one. I'll be posting them here on YouTube on this channel, as well as on Instagram and Facebook. Wellesley 9, Brookline 4, from Sprague Elementary School in Wellesley, Massachusetts. Alongside Nico Wise, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night. And we're clear.